Hi friends, now let's go ahead with the sets chapter. This is part 3 of the sets chapter. Sets. Here I'm going to basically tell you how to write or define a set or represent a set. How does a set get represented? There are two ways of representing a set. A, it is called a listing method. Listing method. It is also called a rooster method. Rooster form. And second one is the rule method, commonly known as the set builder form. Okay. Now let me tell you about the listing method. Listing method, in this kind of representation, you have a set and you define that set. You define the elements of the set by separating them using a comma. For example, so let me write down listing method. So in this, if I have to write the vowels in English alphabet, which are A, E, I, O and U, I will be basically writing it as capital Z is equal to A, comma, E, comma, I, comma, O, comma, U. Okay, so you can see in the listing method, this is the representation of the Z is the representation of a set. Capital Z is equal to open curly braces, which we have learned earlier, and the elements A, E, I, O, U, which are of in the vowels of English alphabet. Okay, so you can see in this particular set, I've opened that with a curly braces and separated these elements A, E, I, O, U using comma separator. So this form of writing a set or representing a set is called a listing method. Okay, so now let me rub this off. Okay, now let's understand what is a rule method. Okay, so in the last example, the listing method, what we did was we represented the vowels of the English alphabet as Z is equal to A, E, I, O, U, and we separated the elements using comma separator, right? And this is the listing method. How to represent this using the rule method? So it is done this way. If Z is the set name, which is where in the curly braces again, curly brackets, you have X such that X is a vowel in English alphabets. And the closed curly brackets. So the representation is slightly different, where you define a variable and you say कि you basically represent x as a variable which takes the vowels a, e, I, o, u. So when you define it in a listing method, you define it this way, and when you define the same using a rule method, you define it this way. And the reading, how you read this particular set builder method is, or the rule method is, z is equal to x such that this brick sign is basically read as such that x is a vowel in English alphabets. Okay, let's see more examples of this in our next chapter.